Guys, hope you had a great week. Last week, sadly, we went through the same pattern, right? We continue to chop within this range, but by what I see from this pattern, right, this very much to me looks like an ABC pattern right here, which gives me higher probability confidence that if we do, right, continue this breakdown in that case, right, this is our A, this is our B, we're coming down, right, for that C wave. And then after that, the most probable path is likely the yellow path, right? Based on this. If we can, the other path that I see, which is possible, is if the market, right? If this is a 1-2 right here, we have to find support immediately, right? For it to continue doing this. And then it probably has a much larger correction. But yeah, I this is the alternate path, but based on the way, you know, we go to the dollar, right? Based on the way you see the dollar, right? Consolidating near resistance, it looks like it wants to have that push, right? You can see here, this is the trend line. We've broken back into the trend line. So what happens next is we push to the top of the channel, and even the wicks. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see that it, right, broke the low and then it had that oversold, right? We gapped up on VIX today. So yeah, I mean, something like this, at least, right, VIX is gonna push to like 14.5. So gonna have a little bit of weakness early Monday. So yeah, it's kind of what I see about the VIX. The bigger picture, as you can see here, I do see an oversold bounce, but again, I don't think this is the bottom on the wicks yet. I still see the wicks coming down to 11 bucks. So kind of this chart that we were going over, right? A sell off and then another high is probably what I see on the market as well. So yeah, with that being said, let's go to this week's watch list. And the first stock I have is FSLR. And the first stock I have is FSLR. And what I have on that chart is this. You can see here, this is the channel, right? We are holding this area at 142 as support, and we're holding this above here, right? 160 as resistance. So right now you can see that we bounced off of support 2 days in a row. So if today we break below 142, then FSLR, right? You can see it has a very big gap here to 133. So break a 142 likely comes to 133. If you can get supported and break over the previous day high of 152, then we can push up to 160. So those are kind of your levels on FSLR, right? Let's look at the next one, which is ZOM. And it's a little more, right, impervious in the sense that you can see here that the range has been from 98.5 to like 100.5. So that is kind of what I see on ZOM, right? Either you break 98.5 and you come down to 95.8, or you break 100.5, right? And the next level of resistance is 103. So those are kind of your bull and bear levels on ZOM. And the next one I have is XPEP. And there on the chart, right, if I zoom out of the chart, you can see that XPEP, this is your level of resistance, this is your level of support. And so far, we've rejected that resistance twice. So for on XPEP, right, you can see we do have a gap to fill above. So personally, for me, you can see this is the level of support and demand that you need to break, right? If you can break below 14.7, 14 point, let's say 14.5, right? If you can break below 14.5, it very likely, right? You can see it has a giant gap to fill down here at 11.6 and another gap here at 10.9. So we're very likely headed there. If you break through, right? If you break through this demand area, we're very likely headed to these levels. But as you can see, we have just kept bouncing off of this, so I won't be shocked if we bounce off of it, right, to go test the higher level. So yeah, kind of an interesting chart to keep on the watch list as well. And last but not the least, what we have is Ford. And again, Ford, you can see here that it is trying to break out, right? You can see here, this is previously the level of resistance we broke down, we consolidated, now it's retesting that. So if we can break back over 11 bucks, then Ford can definitely, you know, push up to 12, 13 back to retest, right? You can see this was previously, right? This was previously the range where this was support, right? and that was resistance. If we can break back, then we can go back to the top of the range. And if we reject, right, then we have much lower levels to see. So yeah, this is what I see for Ford. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.